Here for grandson.
Yeah.
Man, this is cool.
This is cool.
I got to be honest. I wasn't expecting like a therapy session on Monday. I was like, this guy's like talking. I'm like, oh my God, he's right. I feel vacant too.
Yeah, it's pretty sad how many people like resonate. I'll be like, when that moment where you just hate yourself and like 800 people in a room are like, yeah. I'm like,
totally,
fuck.
man. Me this morning, looking in the mirror. What
Yeah,
happened
I'm
in
like,
my life?
oh, that's a bummer. But it's real shit.
Yeah, no.
What the fuck is the point of me going city to city and picking up my microphone to not talk about things that I find important? And in some ways, it's like, it might seem like it's therapy for you guys, but this is actually very therapeutic for me. I get to go up here and just talk about my feelings and emotions, and then I leave feeling a little bit better about things. And the process of feeling understood is, I think, like an innately like human. Like if you strip that from people, they turn insane, and if you give it to people, they feel nurtured and supported. So I go around going, here's how I feel about like watching the world get run by a reality show host, and does anyone else? You know, everyone's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, good.
So Jordan, what you're saying is this band is really just an emotional dump for people, and finding kind of common ground.
Yeah, like what grandson is me, but I mean, I just gave it this name so it doesn't feel like it's me. If I was like, hey, so this is Jordan Benjamin. That's my name. That's my mom gave me my name, and it's like, if I do it like that, there's just a weird, I don't know, there's something that's comforting about having this little alter ego. You know,
I know that
just
is, man.
put the mask on and then take it off. So.
Yeah, there you go, man. I dig it.
You get it, no name. How'd you get your name?
How'd I get my name? Complete lack of originality.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I was 19, I was doing college radio, and I was about to do my first shift, and the guy was like, dude, what's your DJ name gonna be? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, why don't you just not have a name? And I'm like, that's awesome.
You sound like you were baked as hell.
Yeah, I probably was. I was in college, I mean, that's what you do, right? But then I remember, too, it also became the thing where I was like, yeah, man, all those people on the radio don't even use their real names, so I'm not even going to have one.
That's deep.
And I was like, yeah, it was heavy.
You showed them.
Yeah, exactly. I showed them, man, absolutely. I'm also kind of surprised to see you kind of sitting.
I know.
This is such like a surprising environment to see you perform, and I'm digging it.
Yeah,
but it is so different than seeing you live. For those of you that have never seen him live, or you're kind of going, oh man, I recognize that voice. It's a song that when it comes on the radio, you might not understand the lyrics, but you're like, that dude's pissed.
Yeah.
Like that guy, like there's something going on. There's some anger. There's some hostility. And there's not a lot of that, kind of breaking through the mainstream right now. You're kind of like the spearhead of maybe like a new awakening of that.
Wow, I don't know about it. I'm just trying to write songs, man. But that's exciting for me because it's like, it was very, I think that existed at a time with a lot of like Tom Morello's bands like Audio Slave and Rage Against the Machine and Nirvana, and just alternative music in the 90s was so dark and spoke to so many people. There's this just like army of human beings, and I think Linkin Park in a lot of ways did the same thing. But I don't know where it went, but it's back, and better than ever. So I don't know if it's better than ever, but it's back. It's probably not better than ever, actually. It was probably better in like 1994, but we're not there anymore. It's 24 years later. Nirvana is a T-shirt to a lot of kids. Rage Against the Machine is like, so it's important that kids have that resource, that sense of catharsis that uniquely rock music can provide. And I'm just trying to do that for these kids,
A little emotional outlet.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's okay to not be okay. Your feelings are valid. You do have more power than you could even imagine. You just have to exercise it. Exercise it through your right to vote. Exercise it through standing up for other kids at your school. Exercise it through getting the fuck out of your hometown and like seeing all that the world has to offer and being reminded that there's 8 billion people. And if you're the weird kid at your high school, that doesn't mean you're the weird kid everywhere. I remember when I was in high school feeling very wrapped up in the minutia of like the micro politics of like a high school, and I wasn't on the in clique, and I was like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, and now I get to do this, and I'm like, I'm finding my people, and so I used writing as my way out, and I try to just get kids to pick up a guitar or drumsticks or something, because so many hormonal kids just don't have those resources, and so many kids, especially in the middle of this country, don't have role models cutting through the zeitgeist, or they don't have a family member or teacher or pastor that's going to tell them that, these weird feelings they have are okay, so that's what I go around and do, and it feels really good to do it.
Let's rewind a little bit and get into your background a little bit. My understanding is that you kind of were in college. What were you studying in college? What did you
I
want
went to school for education. I was going to be a primary school teacher, actually.
Okay, and then finally you were like, I can't
eat
food if I'm a teacher, because they don't pay teachers.
Yeah, what does that say about our society? But
yeah,
I it's my second year of college. We had to do like an in-class placement. Did you guys have that here? This was up in Canada, so I don't know if you guys have that here. But
they do.
You have like the like 20-year-old sitting in the back of the class that's like marking tests or something. He's like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" That was me. I was like Mr. B. They called me. I was in the back. And first off, it was in Montreal, so half the classes were in French, and I don't speak French, so I'm sitting there just like, yeah, I don't understand what's going on. But I remember, I couldn't. I spoke to a teacher who had been at the same desk for like 18 years, teaching grade 2 with the same curriculum, and I was like, nope. But I have a lot of admiration and respect for people that are willing to do that. But I had to hit the road.
And I understand that. So you drop out of college, you go to Los Angeles to actually be a songwriter. So you spent a lot of time in LA writing songs for other people, like country songs, folk songs,
R&B, hip hop. I was kind of just I was doing some ghostwriting at first, where I would write for artists and we would just kind of work it out behind the scenes, but I wouldn't get any credit for it or anything. And I was producing a lot. I was just trying to be surrounded by people that like really gave a shit about what they did and dedicated their lives to something. I actually find it, like, I listen to all sorts of music. And so as a result, me sitting down with a country artist with an acoustic guitar versus a rapper with a beat, as long as they're telling something that feels honest and they're speaking about something and standing for something, then I could engage with that, parlay with that intellectually, and help them crystallize what their message was or whatever. But I remember just feeling very just disillusioned. I would meet these kids and they just didn't have shit that they wanted to say. They just wanted to get real big and go on tour or something. And I remember just feeling like, well, damn, like, why am I going to write for why am I going to put words in anybody else's mouth? What do I have to say? What do I care about? And that was right around 2015 when the primaries were going on, and I started getting really galvanized by all the action and the subsequent inaction that led us to where we currently are in 2018. And it was just this kind of perfect storm that made me feel like, okay, well, I have to do this thing.
Was there a specific moment, like where you're sitting there, like after like a meal at Carl's Jr., where you just kind of threw the burger down and said, "I've had enough. I'm making grandson." And like flame shot out of the sky and the car exploded, and you were like...
I remember I had been working as a rapper. I was doing like a hip-hop project, and it was like Murphy's Law. Like everything that could have gone wrong was going wrong. Like I just could not cut through and get music out or get it heard. And I was in a session one time, and I just totally had like a nervous breakdown. I had someone that was trying to write with me, and they were like really trying to prod me to like get this thing done. But I didn't believe in it because I didn't believe in myself, because I was just talking about getting high and trying to have sex. And I was like, this is just not...
That's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's not get too crazy here.
It's probably not what you want to hang your hat on as your career, but it's a fun like weekend or something. But yeah, it was like all of a sudden it dawned on me that it was like no one fucks with me, and I don't fuck with me because I'm not about shit. I'm just trying to do whatever I got to do. But lots of people love music and aren't professional musicians. You know, you got to have your why. So I actually can remember just going home and just like getting a good cry out, and then being like, all right, well now what? You know, and I started just writing songs. That's
awesome.
What I've always done. So it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. It's never too late to find outlets and build this dialogue with yourself. I do so through journaling, and I have a therapist I speak to once a week. And I
think you could also be a life coach. I've only spent maybe an hour or so with you.
I'm 24, dude. Absolutely. I have a lot of life to live before I'm coaching anybody.
Jordan, it's so exciting that you're here. Really having a great time. Thanks
so
for making our Monday awesome.
Oh, man, my pleasure. Thank you guys for making my Monday awesome.
And let's hear a little bit more from Grandson.
Yeah, I'm going to sing one more song.